Hello and welcome back to Ami Presents. This is Ami. My name is Rosario Amalia, but I like to go by Ami. And I'm back at the park where I made one of my last videos, which was 3 years ago, I believe. Yeah, time has passed. Time has passed. A lot has transpired. And I'm like, where do I look? I forgot even how to make videos. I recently, well, I had a baby a year ago, and going on the roof really just happened. I surrendered to what my body was asking of me, which was do nothing, do nothing. And I did that for a while. I did pretty much nothing. I did some readings here and there. I was starting up my human design reading business and my astrology, and I was doing that for a little while, but then life found me uh, becoming engaged and getting pregnant and having a beautiful daughter in last May. Um, and so now I'm here ready to reintegrate. Like I integrated more already, but wanted to reconnect with all of you and talk more about, I suppose, what it's like after being on the journey for how long now? It's been 5 years, 5 years of deconditioning. What's really cool to me is that it'll be my 7 years will be done once 2027 happens. Be right on time. A lot has shifted. I feel a lot more grounded, and I've been told that I'm more grounded. And I think having a baby will do that. For most people, maybe not. Maybe some of you, it doesn't ground you. But I feel more grounded. I feel more calm. That deconditioning, going on the roof, it just gets better and better. There has been let me just rewind. By better, I don't mean easier. And this is something I'm going to get to, I think, in this message at one point, because I feel like it needs to be said that human design does not make your life easy. It's not meant to make your life easy. It's not meant to like stop you from experiencing challenges and hurdles and difficult life experiences. And I feel like in general in the spiritual community slash human design astrology community, we're kind of coming from a place of the not self of I just want to end my suffering, which is yes, that's one way of looking at it, but it's not really about ending your suffering in a sense of I'm never going to go through anything difficult anymore. Like I'm never going to get like I remember hearing Ross say like it's not like you're never going to get cancer. It's not like you're never going to get in a car accident anymore or you're never going to get divorced or you know, shit's still going to happen. But at least you will know deep down inside that you made a decision for yourself out of a place of your own authority, out of your own, maybe that's going to be back because I'm touching it. You made a decision out of your own authority, out of your own bodily wisdom, your intuition, and you didn't just do what your mind was telling you to do based on all the conditioning you've been through. So that's important because I feel like when I last came on here and spoke about going on the roof, I was making it sound like, oh, it's so nice, it's so better, and I don't give about anything anymore. And in one way, yes, that's still the resonance I feel. Like I really kind of don't care about. How do you say? That sounds rude to say I don't care about people. It's more that I just don't care what people think about me and what people perceive about me. It's more that I just know I'm being myself, and I don't need to be seen a certain way. So yeah, it's not about lessening your pain. It's not about lessening the difficulties of life. And that's something that I needed to come to terms with because I went through something really pretty much traumatic after I went on the roof with my relationship, and it ended up being emotionally abusive, um, which I didn't see coming because I was like, oh, I thought it was on the roof. I thought nothing bad like that bad was going to happen anymore. But it did. And that really shocked me, honestly. And I had to go back into my healing process. The thing about it is this time around, I have so much wisdom and tools at my disposal so that I was able to get through one of the hardest things of my life with grace, honestly, with grace and with a lot of self love. That had I not cultivated that in the years prior, I don't know where I would be, y'all. I would not be all right because some of the things I've been going through have been so intense, so just horrible. Like some of the things that I've had to go through is horrible. I don't want to go into the details, but you know, things get ugly in relationships. And when you have a child with someone, um, there are lines that shouldn't be crossed. And there is a sense of love and a devotion that can get taken advantage of. Let's just leave it at that. One thing that I've learned that I want to mention is that even though you're deconditioning, you're still constantly being conditioned. It's not like you just decondition and now you're free of conditioning. So that's another thing I've come to accept. It's just that I'm always going to have all of these open centers. I'm never going to not be receiving from the conditioning field. It's just up to me to strengthen my discernment, to strengthen my awareness of what is me and what is not me, and to continue to make decisions based on what is me, what is my authority, which for me is sounding board authority, and what is not me, what is just my mind and the mental chatter and societal expectations, even though they're continuing to knock on my door, to knock on my brains, to knock on my heart, to tell me this, to people continue. It's not like everyone else is knowing about human design, and no, like very no one in my family or immediate friends is really. I have one person that I know, but I don't even like hang out with them in real life. We just talk on the phone. That is following their human design. So, if you're on this journey and you have a similar experience, you know that the conditioning doesn't stop, and that's all right. You just learn to tune it out in a sense, and you just talk less about certain topics with people that you know are just going to feed you conditioning stuff. They're going to tell you how to live your life when they don't even know that you're a projector, that you're a manifester, that you're this or that. And if you, yeah, you can choose to listen to them and just give them a moment of your time. But really, for me, I try to avoid those type of conversations with those type of people. And I am able to remove myself, detach myself from sort of my family, especially because family stuff. Family always has something to say, right, about our life. If you're new to the human design experience, to the experiment, what I can tell you is at this point, after 5 years of deconditioning, is don't get so caught up in the information of it all. Stick to your strategy and authority. I know you're going to hear that from literally everyone. But that's true. Just stick to the strategy and authority. And if you're a projector specifically, take the time to learn what you want to learn about. Simple as that. whatever you're interested in. If it is human design, go ahead and start listening to the source material. Start listening to his source material. That's what I did. I got my hands on like a whole USB flash drive of all his recordings, and I binged it for a while. I haven't not listened to all of it, but I've listened to a lot of it. The parts that I feel drawn to, whenever I do feel drawn to them. But yeah, take your time to master what you want to master, your system. And don't be afraid of being visible. Don't be afraid of being seen. This is one of my main fears, I suppose, that I've been working through is how can I let myself be seen even when I'm still in the process of mastering something? And being very receptive, being completely receptive, that fear shows up as, do I know enough? Do I know enough to actually share? Have I studied enough? Because I can't really access my own knowledge, the like records of the well of information that I have. So I often feel like I don't really know enough, but I probably know way more than I need to for what the task at hand is. So, this is easier said than done, but trust yourself to be able to reach the people that need to be reached by you, your fractal line, your people that are karmically connected to you in this lifetime that are meant to see you and resonate with your frequency. And even if what you're saying, what you're sharing is not perfect in your own mind, even if it's not super curated, those people that are meant to find you will find you, but you need to put yourself out there. You need to broadcast that message. You need to show up in frequency. And it's not the same thing coming through a screen as being in person. So I would recommend also going out there in person and finding activities that you enjoy, that where other people can see you, like meet you. And it's going to depend on your profile. So once again, if you don't know your profile and all that, it's going to be harder. You should know your profile and your type and follow your strategy, your authority, and also learn about your profile and see what works for that profile. If you're a 4/6, you're going to want to network, and social media is great for you, or even just connecting through friends of friends, family friends, that kind of thing. That's going to get you a lot of opportunities. That's going to get you seen and more visible, and you know how that goes. If you're a second lines are about um, being natural. So being hermits, take that time to be a hermit and be in your little cave and learn what you want to learn or do your little craft that interests you without anyone knowing about it. You don't have to tell people. You can be kind of secretive about it and be magnetic in that way. And then eventually, when the right moment comes, they will see you doing that thing and they will be like, ooh, how do you do that thing? Right? If you're a second line, you've had those moments where people are like, whoa, how do you do that? You're just like, oh, me? The shyness comes out, right? Then sometimes that boldness comes out and you're like, oh, thank you. Yeah, you want to see? I can show you. Let me show you what I do. So do your profile, do your strategy, do your authority, and find other people, find a community that is also doing human design, because you're going to drive yourself crazy if you're the only one in your world that is knowing human design, that is like living this life, because it's a radical lifestyle in a way. It is, if you're going for it, if you're going all in, it's nice to have other people that know what it's like to be going through it. Thank you, for example, for being here and watching this video, and even just reading your comments over these past few years has made a big difference in my life. And I'm always amazed and so amazed and grateful when I see a comment from one of you that's like, hey, I'm a 6'2". I resonated with what you said. Thank you so much for sharing. Like, this is my story. That makes such a difference. And for me, it has made such a difference just being able to see those messages, those comments from you all that are also in this experience. You're also in this experiment. Like, knowing that I'm not alone, knowing that you're not alone is going to help so much. And honestly, it's just, this is the time to be excited. If you're in this human, if you're part of the fractal, if you're part of this group, this collective that is knowing about their human design before this shift happens in 2027, you're lucky. You are one of the chosen ones, in a sense. You really are, because so many people out here are struggling, and it's not going to get easier. Um, because that solar plexus activation in 2027 is coming, and things are just going to be shifting and changing more and more. It's already happening. You've already been seeing it. The tension, the stress, the goodness, the war, everything. I mean, it's, if you don't have an understanding on a broader perspective of what is happening in humanity, and like through human design, we have such a clear picture of, what this is about and why it's happening and how we're evolving as a species. And this gives you so much peace when everything around is seemingly so chaotic and going to hell in a handbasket, or so they say. But if you're able to see beyond that veil, as we are, we're able to guide other people to their inner peace, their inner sanctuary, their hearts, their truth, their self love. That's what this system is about. It's about self love. And that's what I'm so grateful for. Now, at 5 years of deconditioning, I'm grateful that I have a tool for recognizing myself, my intuition, for tuning into my intuition, even when the whole world is telling me not to. It's telling me to do too much and do the wrong things. And now I'm here, like, following my intuition, and my life is not perfect, y'all. It's not perfect, but I feel empowered. I feel good at the end of the day that I'm living my life as myself and not my not self. It's like that simple. Like, even if things are shitty, I know that the way I got here is by being myself, by being true to myself. And yeah, I'm not always perfect in my decision making. I still struggle sometimes with finding the right soundboard, because being a mental projector is a whole thing. Because if you don't have someone to bounce your voice off of, essentially, you're kind of stuck. You get stuck in loops. I have found that writing helps a lot. I have found that even just speaking in a video like this helps a lot, even though I do it rarely because I'm shy. So I think I'm going to leave it there, because this video is getting long and rambly, or maybe I just feel that way since I didn't really have a plan coming on here. One of the things is being a quad right, it's just being very surrendered and not being strategic. I mean, I can force myself to try to be strategic, but it doesn't work. So put it that way. I can be like, I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. And as soon as I turn on the camera, it's like, where did it all go? There's just nothing there. So I will be sharing more videos, because it's time. It's time to share. And it's going to be abstract. It's going to be a little abstract and right and perceptive and receptive. So, yeah, keep following along, and please ask me questions so that I can access my well of information for you and give you whatever comes through. I find more and more as the journey goes on that I'm really meant to be channeling like an oracle type of person. And it just comes through really naturally when I'm being recognized, when I'm being seen, when someone asks me a question, and I just get like, bling, okay, this is the download for you. And I don't expect to have the answers. I just let them come through if they are going to come through. So, with that being said, I love you all very much. And I want to remind you that you are the light of awareness, that you are consciousness itself. And yeah, there's no need to prove yourself. There's no need to be what you're not. So accept who you are, accept your design, accept your body, and listen to your intuition. Follow your true intuition, whatever that is. If it's your sacral, if it's your spleen, if it's your voice, like for me, let that guide you to where you're meant to be. And I know that it can be scary. Things are pretty intense right now. But I find solace in knowing that I'm connected to my higher self. I'm connected to my myself, and it's okay to let things that are not meant for us fall away. And that can look like destruction, and that can look like death, like ego death. That can look like our whole world is crumbling sometimes. And it's okay to go through that and feel whatever emotions you need to feel that are associated with those experiences. You know, that's been the deepest part of this journey for me. And I'm not even done yet. I'm not even at the 7 year mark. I mean, that's not even the ending, right? 7 years is just like, all right, you did the first level or so. And we'll see what comes with 2027. But I really feel that we're being empowered through this transit. There's nothing to be really afraid of. If anything, we're coming into higher frequencies, multidimensional awareness, a love frequency that has just not been the baseline before is now coming online, and we're receiving it from the neutrinos. I want to say more about that, but that's what excites me moving forward. And I want to keep sharing my story. I want to keep sharing my insights, my wisdom. I have channel 1156, so yeah, stay tuned for more story time. And if you have questions, please, once again, let me know what your questions are. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing more soon. So I'll leave it at that. I love you very much. Namaste.